Oh man, it's still raining? Dang. Dang. Let's get rid of that. What do we got? Home. Alright. What do we got? HRA. Just get rid of that stuff. Just get rid of it. Okay, so no gyrates on the table today. That'll make things a little bit easier. Also, hello. I have crazy news. You missed something yesterday. Something insane. I got Gulliver's last item. Finally happened. I was in disbelief. You can see it over there. The Statue of Liberty is in the top left there. Finally mine. I was not expecting it. I literally talked to Gulliver and I ran into the store and I was just like checking out the shirts and then I just opened my inventory and it's like, huh? What do you mean I actually got it? It was, you know, normally I like check it a little earlier, but this time I was like, yeah, there's no way. I was not feeling confident, but then yeah, it happened, so that's pretty cool. No, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. So we got a skull shirt, the G logo shirt, a 4-ball shirt. What the heck is this one? I think the one on the left is the yellow bar shirt. Can't remember what this one is. I feel Vertigo. Okay. Thank you. All I did was talk to the bird, man. But hey, that's all it takes. So that's really good because Gulliver is like, you know, a thing that like kind of delays everything if I don't get him because there's no other way to get him. Also, interestingly enough, yesterday it was also a Friday spike. So the third recorded Friday spike on the day that I got the last Gulliver item. Kind of crazy. I talked to him for what, 100 times? I gotta confirm that, but yeah, close to 100. If I search for Gulliver, it says that there's 74 matches, but I don't have them written down on every week, and I still have to go back and actually write them down. But yeah, I would say probably 80 times. So that's at 243, and then it's somewhere here. I don't know where it is here. I think I passed them all. Yeah, there you go. There it is. So all of Gulliver's stuff is all in a row. So that's pretty cool. I was pretty happy about that. So like, with the 2 shirts we got from the store this week, we're now down to 4 shirts total, 3 pinwheels, 8 gyroids, and then there's like 19 furniture items. But like 17 of them are models that I can't get in this town because all the characters have already got them. So like those don't count. Yeah, year's 52 weeks, and we're like, it's close to 100. But I mean, like, I've been going for a year and a half almost. It's a year and a half, like in 4 days. So like that's a thing. But yeah, like it's really just the market model and the jingle clock, and then there's all the other things. So yeah, like that's another like I always talk about like item sources, right? Wait, Daffy Duck now. Okay, I'm not doing it again. I always talk about item sources and how nice it is to like remove item sources because then you don't have to like worry about as much. So with Gulliver out of the way, that's another one. Also, I'm struggling today. My fingers feel cold. I can't move them. I'm gonna warm them up here, jeez. Okay, what is this? Ladybug shirt. Why do you go ladybug someone else with your shirts that nobody wants, Gracie? Sorry, that was rude. Okay, so I gotta deal with Gracie on 2 more characters, and then that's gonna be it for today. Because again, it's been raining for 3 days now, so no gyrates. I was expecting gyrates, but that's okay. I can wait. Getting Gulliver, that's huge. There's a backup strat to get the remaining gyroids. There's a backup strat to get the shirts. So we can just wait, because obviously the market model isn't happening until November anyways. And the end of November at that. So Summer Games Fest was yesterday. I did watch it. I don't know, I will make a mention of some games because I typically do that. What happened? Okay, I mean, they showed like another Resident Evil, like a remake, and he shows. I'm not gonna talk about everything. I said a bunch of stuff. There's some stuff that I really don't like. Ugh. The person that made Shadow of the Colossus and Eco and like The Last Guardian, they're making another game, and it just looks like giant robot Colossus, and I'm not into that. But I usually like to talk about things that I like. So they dropped the Stranger Than Heaven release date, which is January 15th. So I'm pretty excited for that, because that game I was already very hyped on from the last like little showcase they did. Blah 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 blah. Okay, one of the craziest things happened, and it was a RuneScape thing of all things. So there's this game, it's called RuneScape Dragon Wilds. It's like a survival crafting game where it's like based on the RuneScape world. So it doesn't play like RuneScape, but it's set in the RuneScape world. So that's a thing. It's been out, or when I say it's been out, it's been available on PC. I guess it's maybe been in early access. Either way, it's a game that's been known, but then in the state of play on Tuesday they referenced it and said like, hey, it's coming to PlayStation, because I guess it was only on PC before. And it's like, wow, this old series is gonna come to PlayStation for the first time, and then it was just RuneScape, and I kind of died, because it was just funny to me how they framed it. And I don't remember exactly what Mr. Keeley said while he was on stage yesterday, but he made a reference to the infamous Falador Massacre of 2006. He said like something about like a notable thing that happened like 20 years ago tomorrow. And I put it together and I was like, what? And I was losing it. Crazy. And the Falador Massacre is significant because like, sorry, I had to cough. It's like, I guess to anyone who hasn't played RuneScape, it's not like a deep cut, but yeah, for anyone who's like, huh, what are you talking? I was losing it. Basically, back in 2006, they released a new skill in RuneScape called Construction, where you could make a house, okay? And in this house, you can like build things, you could like have house parties, and you could like build a combat ring, and then you could like, you know, safely fight other people in your house. Like, you know, normally if you like fight people in the wilderness or something, you'd be risking your gear, or you could do it in the fight arena, but then that's usually the like do thing anyway. So you could like have a house party, you could like all get in this like ring and fight each other, and it's just like chill and fun, right? So I think the story goes is that they were doing a 99 party, like somebody hit 99 construction and they did a party, and then they went to this house, and then one of the guys, like Duriel123, whatever his name is, was in the combat ring and got kicked out or something. But when he was kicked out into the world, it like glitched, and he was still able to just attack other players, which he should not have been able to do. And then the infamous Falador massacre occurred, where he was just running around Falador murking people, and he should not have been able to like kill other players at that point. And like all the mods are like logging in and like, please everyone bank your things and log out, like get safe, and like he's just like it's a crazy thing. And like everybody, and it happened on 666 to make it worse, so everyone's like, oh, this is an inside job, they did this on purpose, you know, like of course it happened on 666. So like, there's all these like funny conspiracies through it, but it's just such a crazy, iconic moment. Like one of the craziest glitches, you know. And I was just so shocked to have that referenced on the stage. Like that just kills me. That clip will live on in my head for a long time. Anyway, yeah, I have not played the game, and like I wouldn't play it on consoles anyways. I'd probably just play it on PC, so I'm like already aware of it. So it doesn't really like do much for me. But the way that they announced it, very funny. Okay, and then what else did they do? There's this game. It's called like 1666 Amsterdam, and you like play as some like witch, and it's made by like the person who created Assassin's Creed, but they only directed like the first 3 games. So like I'm interested to see more of that, because like obviously I'm a big fan of like the early Assassin's Creed games. I'm not so much a big fan of the later Assassin's Creed games, and I played a lot. You know, I played like most of the series, and I've got like all the achievements. Like I feel like I can comment on it. But yeah, like I played Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, 4, Unity, Syndicate, Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. That's where I've got up till at this point. So like I kinda feel like I can talk about it. But yeah, I'm interested to see, because like if it's good, that could be cool, because it could be more of that and it's a different vibe and you're a witch, and then blah blah blah. There's a lot of other garbage. They had an Among Us section, which was pretty cringe to see, to be honest. That was a thing. Sonic Crossworld is getting a Godzilla collab, which is funny to me. I like Godzilla, so that's cool. They're doing an Attack on Titan 3 game, which I was surprised to see there, because again, Jeff was out on stage and he said something about dedicating your hearts, and I went, ain't no way! And then they just pulled out an AOT game, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, they dropped Stellar Blade, a Stellar Blade sequel, and I played Stellar Blade, and I was a big fan of Stellar Blade. I had a lot of fun playing that, so that's probably the highlight from the show, because again, that like hasn't been shown up until this point. Like they said that there'll be a sequel, and like we knew that they were working on one, but there's been no mention of when. So it's cool to see that. And then at the very end of the show, sorry, I got a cough again, please. At the end of the show, they did like a little Street Fighter segment where they had they were like talking about like Street Fighter characters they're adding, and they're adding Tifa from Final Fantasy VII, and I was like, wow, Tifa, that's crazy. And the guy comes out and he's talking about it, and he's like, oh, there's more to Tifa's story though. And then he leaves. They show some other stuff, and then they're like, all right, we got the last announcement of the day, and it's Final Fantasy VII Revelations. And then the guy just comes back out on stage. He's like, I'm back. And it's in like, you know, funny, like it's like it's very with a thick Japanese accent, right? And he's just saying, I'm back. And it just killed me the way that he just did it. So like that was the big end game. And like I'm more partial to the Final Fantasy spin-offs, but I'm watching this and I'm like, man, should I play the new trilogy? Because like they gave out Final Fantasy VII for free, or sorry, Final Fantasy VII Remake for free. On PlayStation, so I do have it, so I could play it. So I feel like maybe I should play it, because like I don't know, I'm watching it. They kept showing a bunch of stuff, and I was like, should I play it? I've been thinking about it like off and on. I'm like, oh, should I do it? So yeah, I mean, there's a couple games that I'm gonna keep my eyes on after seeing them in the show. And getting the date for Stranger Than Heaven's pretty cool. Seeing Stellar Blade 2 stuff, or whatever it's called. I can't remember. Moon Rising. I don't remember the subtitle. It's not a number. That's all I know. That was fun. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should play Final Fantasy VII. They brought Matt Mercer out on stage. I was like, oh man, this peak. So yeah, that's kind of how the show went. Honestly, like nothing new that they really, like they didn't really show anything new that like I'm gonna keep an eye on. Like, nothing has really stood out to me from the show, except from what I've mentioned. And it was 2 hours. So, like, obviously there's stuff where it's like, yeah, this is, like, cool, I guess, but it's not, like, something I'm immediately gonna want to play. There was a wholesome direct that happened, like, 2.5 hours ago. I have not yet watched that. I'll be watching that later. It was on too early. But I'll watch that later, and then I'll give my thoughts on that at some point tomorrow, probably. And then, I don't know. I don't usually watch the Xbox showcase, but I might skim through it at some point, so I might talk about anything there. But yeah, and then I'm just hoping for a Nintendo Direct soon. I would love to see that happen. I was looking into it. It hasn't happened since like November or something. It's been a very long time since we got a proper full Direct, so hopefully they've been saving stuff up and we get some crazy stuff showing up next week. But yeah, that's all I got. So nothing today. No Luigi shirt. Still raining. It's 3 days of rain in a row. Gracie didn't give us anything new, which is lame, but can't win them all. You know, I already got 2 new shirts this week, and I got Gulliver's last item. So, like, this is already going to be, like, the best week, probably for the rest of the run, you know? And I don't know why I keep saying run. I said that yesterday, too. I'm like, this isn't a run. I'm just playing the game. But, like, it's a 100% run, technically. I don't know. But it's, like, weird. But yeah, like, 2 shirts in the last Gulliver item. I think that'll be impossible to beat. Because, like, getting the pinwheels, if I get them, I should get them all. Unless I get really bad luck. But again, I have them, so that doesn't really matter. So it's really, like, the gyroids and the shirts. And there's just no way I'm going to get all those shirts at once, so. Unless somehow I got, like, a shirt from from Nooks, and then got 2 shirts from Gracie in a single day. That'd be the only way that this could, like, be. There could be contention over which is crazier. So, yeah, anyway, I'm not really sure what I'm doing this weekend. Gotta do something. Gotta figure that out. I'm gonna take it easy for now. But, yeah, let's find Green Mario, please. Anyway, so I'll be back tomorrow. If it stops raining, I can look for gyroids. Otherwise, tomorrow's gonna be a very quick stream. Unless I have yapping to do, which I guess could lengthen things. But yeah, anyways, I hope you have a good weekend as well. I'll see you next time. And, yeah, take it easy. Bye.